Hello and welcome to Tuesday's Phonics for Year 2, Grasshoppers and Dragonflies. So yesterday you were looking at some different ways of remembering spellings with Miss Goulding, and today we're carrying on with a little bit of that to start off with. So here are the memory strategies that she went through yesterday, just as a reminder, and we're going to be looking at these all week to make sure that we remember lots of different ways that we can use to spell things. So number one, we had about breaking a word up into syllables, and Miss Goulding had a really good trick of putting your hand under your chin when you say a word like September, or of course you could clap baby. Also, you could look at number two, finding its root word, such as in smiling, the root word is smile, and in untidy, the root word is tidy. And number three, you could also use words you already know how to spell to help you spell a different word. So if you knew how to spell could, then you should be able to spell would and should also. And then number four, you might want to learn a mnemonic to help you learn words like people, such as people eat orange peel like elephants. That's just 4 ways of learning how to spell a word. I'm sure you could maybe think of something else. So we're going to have a little practice at reading these words today. You also looked at these yesterday with Miss Goulding, and we will be looking at these all week because these are some common words that we will need to learn within year 2 and how to read and spell them as well. So our first word is keep, keep. Our second word is even, Our third word is last, last. And our fourth word is before, and that of course has got the or sound in it as well. A challenge. Do you think you could say these in a sentence? So maybe pause the video at this point or just have a little think in your head. So you might say, I keep my gloves in my pocket. The number was even. I last had toast for breakfast. Mrs. Diplock was before me in the line. Lots of different words that you could think of, or sentences rather, that you could think of with those words in it, I am sure. So today we are looking at what is past tense, okay? So we're going to look at a root word and then we're going to add something onto the end of that, okay? That's called a suffix to make it into a past word. And what do we need to add at the end of that word today? It is ed. We are adding the ed to the end of a word. So what do you think would happen to these words on the screen if we added the ed at the end? So the first word I've got there is look. So if we had already done that, okay, so I would say I looked. Well done. And that's what it would look like. Then I would, the next word there, I've got play. And if I've already done that, I would say I have played. Excellent. Well done. And then my third one there is boil. If you were making your dinner, maybe cooking the vegetables, and if you'd already done that earlier, you might say well done, boiled the vegetables. Excellent. I'm sure we all got those correct. So what happens to words that have already got an E at the end? So the rule is that we just add the letter D and that's it. We don't do anything else because the E is already there. So we're going to look at some examples now. We've got the word like. So what does like become? Can you tell me? Excellent. Yes, like becomes liked. Well done. Okay, hate. What would that become? Have a think. It would become hated. Excellent. Well done. And the last one I've got there is fail. What would fail become? Have a think. What would it be? Yes, it would be filed. Brilliant. So we've got like becomes liked, hate becomes hated, and file becomes filed. So we're going to see now what happens to these sentences. So it says, I like eggs, which is in the present tense. If we're going to turn that into the past tense, what would it become? I'm going to give you a few seconds to have a think. I like eggs, but we're thinking about the fact that this has already happened. It's a past tense. What's it going to become? Can you say it out loud? I liked eggs. Well done. Okay, the next one. I hate spiders. Okay, so that's in the present tense. We're going to turn it into the past tense. Have a little think. What might that be turned into? Okay, can you say it out loud for me? Ready? I hated spiders. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do next is write down something. You might need a pen, pencil, whiteboard, pen if you've got one, a piece of paper, whatever you've got to hand. Or if you really want to, maybe you could write it in the air if you haven't got those things. So we're going to see what will happen to these words when we write them down. So we've got the word smile. Okay, and we've got the word tickle, the word hope, the word believe, and the word complete. Now we're going to see what's going to happen to these when we turn these words from the present into the past tense by adding the ed at the end. But oh, do we need to add e and d for these words? What do you think? You're right. No, we don't. We just need to follow our rule, don't we? We just add the D at the end. So smile is going to become, what's it going to become? Can you say out loud? Oh, for some reason, it didn't come up on here. That's a bit silly. It should have come up saying smiled. And then the next one should have come up saying tickled. Hope becomes hoped. Believe becomes believed, and complete becomes completed. So let's have a look. Oh, there it is. It has come up. Did you get these correct? Smile becomes smiled, sorry. Tickle becomes tickled. Hope becomes hoped. Believe becomes believed. And complete becomes completed. There you go, silly Mrs. Crawley. Maybe you can think of some sentences in your head that would use those words, like I smiled at my friend today, maybe. So what we're going to try and do here is, can we write a sentence using the words we have changed? I just said a sentence there about smile. So perhaps at this point you might want to pause the video so that you can have a little think about writing a sentence that would have one of those in them. For instance, another one there, I might say, I hoped it would snow this winter. That might be a kind of sentence you would write. And that's it for today. Any questions or anything you have, please ask us on the chat. And good luck turning your words from present to past. Thank you very much.